Hey guys, welcome back, and for this one I am back on the game Steep. And for those who saw my last video and remember me saying that I managed to mess my profile on Steep up by doing one of the glitches that I was showing, well, I did, but I've managed to get it working again. So I thought I'd bring you this video, and if you like this game Steep, then I think you're going to enjoy this one because I've got some footage of Steep that you won't have ever seen before, I can guarantee it. So for more videos like this one, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can get future notifications of my videos. So as you can see guys, we are on the new DLC mountain range, which is based on Alaska and Mount Denali. And to be honest, I think I even prefer this map to the original map. I don't know what you guys think of that. Not that it really matters, because this is what we're going to try and do. We're going to try and go and explore what's right at the end of this glacier that's at the base of the mountain, because you can't even see the end with the binoculars. So what I'm going to do is teleport or use my helicopter tickets to go to one of the highest points on the mountain, which is sat on this rock, which tends to disappear for some reason when the camera's under it, which is a bit of a glitch in itself, but that's not what we're here for. I didn't even know that did that, to be honest. Now for those of you who don't know how to get out the map on Steep, then I will leave a link in the description, and there'll also be a link at the end of this video to view my previous video which tells you how to do this. For those of you who do know what I'm doing here and saw my last video, then give it a go by all means. One thing I forgot to tell you in the last video was you can actually come out of the binoculars view and still keep flying your paraglider. So I've just come out of the binoculars view. The only thing you don't want to do right now is hit one of the buttons for changing sport or something like that, because that will stop you in midair and it'll mess the glitch up. So just don't hit these buttons in the bottom right hand corner. You can still look around, and you can also move your character to fly in whichever direction you want. At this point I'm going to speed the video up because it does take quite a long time to get out of the map, so I'll catch you in a moment. Alrighty, so if I just spin the camera round at this point, you can see we're coming up to the edge of the playable area of the map, or the limit of the map as they call it. And just on the right there you can see the stripes where we're not supposed to be, and the normal map's just on the left. If you were doing this as a normal paragliding flight, then you would get kicked at this point back into the map view and you'd have to teleport somewhere in the helicopter. But because the game thinks I'm actually still stood on the rock and I've not moved, then it allows me to fly through the barrier. So I just kind of cut the video there because it does take a long time to get to this point. It took me around about 10-15 minutes to get out the map this far, but look how far out we are, guys. We are... I mean, it's astonishing how big it is actually out here. I've flown over another mountain outside. But check this out. I just wanted to point this out to you very quickly. As I was flying over the first time, I found this on the right hand side of where I was flying from. And I'll just turn my character around now. Now I don't know whether this is just me or you guys are actually gonna agree with me on this one. Let me know in the comments. But the more I look at this, the more it looks like a bear's head. I'm going to try and let you find it first before I point it out. But it's just to the left of my character there, and it looks like a bear's head sticking out the snow. Did you see it? Did you see the bear's head sticking out the snow? Look, it actually looks like it now without the markings around it. I thought that was pretty cool. But the other thing I wanted to point out was this shape in the snow down below the bear's head. It kind of looks like it's been dug out on purpose, and you'd never normally see this outside of the map, but it looks kind of like a little sledging slope or something like that. I don't know whether that's done on purpose or whether it's just there or what, but I thought it was kind of cool and I wanted to point it out before we go to the edge of the map. So we are pretty much here, guys. We're right over the edge of the map, and to be honest, when I was filming this at this point, I thought there's nothing going to be down here. It's just going to be empty space at the bottom underneath the map. And then when I flew over the edge, I started seeing this blue down underneath the map, and I was kind of like, what is this? And the further I got out, the more it looked like a little river running along the edge of the map. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to fly down and see what it is. And at this point I'm thinking, there's actually quite a big area hidden underneath the glacier. But it looks like it's all mountains, so I thought what I'd do is try and crash land, but I hit the side of the barrier and started rolling down it, and that was the first time I'd attempted this, and I was like, oh man, it's just took me about 20 minutes to get here. I'm not going to bother doing this again, but I thought I'm going to have to do it again and see if I can land on top of this barrier. So I did give it another go, guys, and I managed to land on the barrier. The only problem was I messed up the landing because I actually landed the paraglider properly, and the only way you can get to run after landing the paraglider is if you crash land. For some reason that lets you run. If you land it normally, you just stand still and you can't move. And at this point I was thinking, this is going to be the end of the video, I'm not going to do this again, but I really wanted to know what was over the top of these mountains, and hopefully you guys do as well, so I thought I'd give it one more go, just one more shot at this. And I was so glad I did, guys, because on the third go, check this out, I actually got further along the map and there's this giant lake hidden underneath the map. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, man, I have got to land this properly this time and be able to run. So I actually crash landed, and as soon as you get up, what you want to do is start running, and you're able to run properly and sprint wherever you want to go underneath the map. It's a lot easier than skiing and snowboarding because of the way the map is underneath. The invisible parts of the map, they stop you from going anywhere. Whereas with running, of course, you can just run over the top of them, so it's dead easy. So at this point, obviously, I'm thinking, this is pretty awesome. I'm running on a map underneath the actual map that you'd never normally get to see. But I'm also thinking, what are these lakes doing underneath here? So I did a little search, and in actual pictures of the real Mount Denali, you can find out that there are lakes scattered around the mountain. So whether the devs were going to put these lakes into the visible area around the outside of the map, who knows? I'd love to find out why they're now hidden under the ice glacier where it's no longer visible to see them through playing the game normally. Maybe they were just too much texture and slowing the game down or something like that. Let me know what you guys think happened to these lakes, but it is such a shame they were never made into the final DLC because they do look pretty cool actually, especially if we could see them without the out of bounds lines all over the top of them. Alright guys, so I finally made it to the end of the first lake, and I kept the camera facing behind me like this so I couldn't see what was over the top of the mountain when I got here. So what I did was spin the camera around. Look at the size of that lake, we've come so far. I spun the camera around and boom, another huge lake. I honestly cannot believe how massive the outside of this map goes on for. There's two hidden lakes underneath the map. It's pretty astonishing, guys, that these are even here. I just can't believe it's such a waste for a start, but I can't believe they're actually here. It took me so long to get across them. It took me like literally an hour to run across the lakes until I got to this point. And I'm obviously approaching the limits of the map from the outside of the map now. But I thought for you guys, I'm going to keep going and see if we can hit that limiter and see what happens from the outside of the map. So there we go, guys, we've just hit the limiter on the map from the outside of the map this time, and obviously I can't move my helicopter now back inside the map. It's sort of stuck outside, so I can't teleport using the helicopter back in the map. But what I thought I could do was use the B button, because I'm on the PC on the Xbox pad, to go back to my initial position, but it took me all the way back to the very start of where we were underneath the map. So you can see how far I've ran there. It was an absolute marathon, so I'm not suggesting you go out and try this one, guys. You've seen my video. If you want to go out, by all means do it. Just to let you know, if you do run up the mountain high enough, you will hit your head on the glacier. Your head will pop through. But I thought it would actually send me through the glacier for some reason. I thought it would push me out through the glacier. But it doesn't. It just keeps you there. You can't get any higher. If you change to your skis or your snowboard, it will spawn you on top of the glacier and you can carry on exploring out there. But it does take a long time, guys. If you're going to do this glitch, have like literally hours to spare to do it, because it does take a long time to get anywhere. But that is it for this one, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. I know it's been a lot longer than my normal length of video. I normally try and keep it to about 5 minutes, to be honest, so it's at least double that. But I did film around 4 hours worth of footage just to make this one, so I had to cut it down quite a lot. If you did enjoy it, then please feel free to join us here at Slippy Slides. Hit the subscribe button to get more videos like this one. I'll catch you soon. As always, take care and stay slippy, bros.